Hey everybody, in this video we're going to read the next chapter of Meet the Gecko. Chapter 9, and Action. After we got our special guest badges and cleared security, we were ushered into the hotel. They were getting ready to shoot a scene right in the main lobby. Mom spotted Dad, who was standing about 10 feet behind a camera. We got over to him just as a guy with a patchy little beard called, "Pictures up? Quiet on the set, we're rolling." "That's the director," Dad whispered. "Shh," my mom scolded him. The lady stuck a clapboard with all sorts of numbers on it in front of a camera, then pulled it away. The director called "Action!" and suddenly evil Damien Black appeared at the top of the stairs. He snuck down on his tiptoes. His eyes were darting all around. He had on a long coat, black boots, a twisty mustache. He was holding a long double-bladed axe. I had the powerful urge to hiss. Damien is so nasty. The Gecko was around the corner, trying to switch the power ingot in his magic wristband from super strength to wall walker. He was trapped, and since the magic wristband only allows for one power at a time, he was in trouble. "And cut," the director said. Then he called, "Live Gecko inside Chase's sweatshirt. Let's go." I whispered, "This is so cool, Dad. Thank you. Thank you, thank you." People scurried all around, moving cameras, moving chairs. Chase grinned at me and tossed his head back a little like, "Hey," while a lady patted powder on his nose and forehead. I waved and smiled. Was I dreaming? My mother squeezed my arm and smiled at me. "Pretty interesting, isn't it?" she whispered. I nodded. It was amazing to be on the set of my favorite show, and very strange. Someone gave Chase a gecko. A gecko? What was I thinking? They gave him Sticky, the funniest sidekick of all time. Chase stroked Sticky on the head and talked to him quietly. Sticky looked kind of small and brown. The real Sticky's orange, with yellow stripes, and sometimes sunglasses. I took out my binoculars and zoomed in on the two of them. Wow, Sticky might look different, but Chase was really talking to him. And I swear Sticky was talking back. I could practically hear him saying, "Aye, Chihuahua, is this the best you got?" Then Chase put Sticky inside his sweatshirt, held onto him, and gave the director a nod. I kept watching through my binoculars. "Quiet on the set," director called. "Close up on his shoulder, and action." Chase let go of Sticky and put his hand back on his power band. In a flash, Sticky wriggled out of his sweatshirt and got up onto Chase's shoulder. His head moved from side to side, then he sort of jumped on top of Chase's ball cap and looked around. After a second of Sticky looking around, the director called, and cut. Everyone started talking at once. Chase was grinning from ear to ear. The director was too. "Unbelievable," he said. "On a first take, too. And that bonus jump on the head? Beautiful. Brilliant. That's what I like from my radical reptiles. Whatever you said to him, Chase. Nice work." Chase was taking Sticky off his hat, still grinning away. "Hey, just call me the guy who talks to geckos." Everyone laughed. The mom whispered across me to Dad. "I always thought it was some kind of robot, computer animation." Dad nodded. "They tell me that most of it is computer generated. They have a toy gecko and a remote controlled gecko, but they use a live one sometimes too." He laughed. "They sure couldn't have gotten the remote control one to jump on his head. They must have gotten very lucky with that." Dad nodded. "Oh, very. A remote controlled gecko? Computer animated?" So what if the gecko Chase had wasn't orange? It was still Sticky. I'd just seen him in action. What more proof did people need? Sticky was real. I tried to tune my parents out and watch the people who were scurrying around to set up the next scene. Damien Black would be coming down the rest of the stairs. The gecko would click in the wall walker ingot at the last minute. He'd climb up the wall. He'd How do they make it look like he's climbing walls? Mom asked Dad. Shh, I told her. We'll have the wall walker and got in. Mom looked at Dad. Dad looked at Mom. They both raised their eyebrows. Pictures up, the director called, and he said, quiet on the set, and action. Boom, crash, clank. Everyone froze. I looked around. Was this sound effects? Thump. The saloon doors burst open, then closed, then burst open again. But no one came through. Let go, a voice inside the saloon cried. I just want to meet the Gecko. I couldn't believe my eyes. I whispered, that sounds like... But before I could say his name, Bubba Bixby crashed through the door. Cut! The director shouted. Who's that clown? Get him out of here! Bubba tried to touch Chase, but before he could, men in black t-shirts were all over him. As they hauled Bubba away, Bubba reached for the Gecko, saying, Hey, I just want to shake your hand. I just want to... The men muscled Bubba along as he shouted over his shoulder. Man, I'm your #1 fan. Everyone was scowling. The director looked mad. Bubba's head swept around as he turned to face forward. But then, like in slow motion, his head turned back, and his eyes stopped and locked right on me.